The balance protocol aims to provide a reliable tool for measurement of postural oscillation of the center of mass during bipodalic or monopodalic balance, both with eyes open or eyes closed, in order to evaluate the patient's postural control. To proceed with the new acquisition from the test section of the patient's screen, click on the balance test. Two additional icons will appear immediately. We will show the timed balance test, therefore select the stopwatch icon. As shown by the pop-up, to obtain reliable and repeatable data during the execution of the test, it is necessary to correctly position the sensor on the subject to be evaluated. For the balance test, the sensor must be hooked to the appropriate belt and positioned below the line that corrects the two venous dimples, lumbar sacral passage at the S1-S2 vertebrae. Once the sensor is positioned, we can continue through the protocol guide, which shows the user how to set the test parameters, how to proceed with the acquisition, and what the different test setting options are. Before starting the acquisition from the central ring, set the duration of the test. It is possible to select 60 seconds, 30 seconds, or click on the Free button and enter the desired test duration. Today, we will select 30 seconds. After selecting the duration of the test, before starting the acquisition, it is necessary to select the type of test and to obtain reliable results. Follow the protocol acquisition instruction on the screen. The test can be executed. Bipodalic stance. The subject must remain standing in an orthostatic position with both feet in contact with the ground and with his eyes open. At the start of the acquisition, this position must be maintained for a few seconds until the end of the stabilization phase. At the end of the stabilization phase, the subject will attempt to maintain this initial posture. The test can be performed with both eyes open and closed. Monopodalic stance. The subject moves into a monopodalic stance. At the start of the acquisition, this position must be maintained for a few seconds until the end of the stabilization phase. At the end of the stabilization phase, the subject will attempt to maintain this initial position until the end of the test, while remaining as still as possible. The test can be performed with both eyes open and closed. In this demonstration, we will select eyes open, bipodalic test. Once the patient is ready, start the acquisition by clicking on REC. During the stabilization phase, the patient must remain still. When the bar reaches the end of the progression, the stabilization ring will disappear and the test begins. During the acquisition in the central ring, the movement of the center of mass of our subject is graphically shown. The operator can decide whether or not to have the screen visible to the subject as a visual feedback tool during the test acquisition. Once the time has completed, the test ends automatically and the checkmark is displayed to confirm the data has been collected. After the acquisition, save the test by selecting the Save icon. The clinical report of the balance test is then shown, which is made of two main sections. A first section where the various balance indices are shown, and the second section where the movement of the pelvis are highlighted. Furthermore, the operator can add a visual analogic scale to denote if the subject experienced any discomfort during the test.